Right now, we have a ultra special session for you guys. It's with Matteo Beccaro and Rocco Calvi. For the guys that don't know, right? So Matteo is the opposing force chief technology officer, basically. But he's also most famously, I suppose, known as the guy who started the HITB Armory. And then Rocco, who has been around for quite some time in the security industry. He's also been at various Hack in the Box events. He's spoken at our conference in Singapore, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of years ago. He's now with TII. And so Rocco and Matteo are going to be speaking with us just very shortly about the plans that we have for the HITB Armory that's coming up in CyberWeek in November. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey man, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It'd be better if you guys were here and we were like, having this conversation in person, but hey,
All right. Definitely miss Singapore.
Yeah, I know, the food, right? Where are you guys now,
I was waiting for my crab.
Yeah, your crab. Yeah, exactly. I remember that. I remember when you guys came down, you were like,
chili crab.
The chili crab incident, right? Like everybody. So for the guys watching at home, right? Like Matteo came down and like we went out for crabs. Everybody was done, and he's like, "Where's everybody going? There's still crabs here." What have you guys been up to?
Fired me for cleaning the plates at the end of the evening.
You did a true Asian thing, like eat the crabs down to like the last bits, right? Like doesn't matter if your fingers are dirty, but that's how you eat crabs, man. You can't eat it with a fork and spoon.
Exactly. That's the point.
Where are you guys now, man? Like obviously at home, but which part of the world?
So I'm in the Middle East, in UAE, Abu Dhabi, at my house. It's the weekend for us right now.
Nice and free, Matteo?
I'm just a few kilometers away from Rocco's, actually. I'm currently in Dubai for a few weeks before I fly back to Italy mid-September.
It's so weird, right? I mean, you're not far from each other, but yet you're still separated. It's like kind of weird, right? Like we're still sitting here, everybody's on Zoom. Like, what the hell, man? Like, Abu Dhabi and Dubai is what, like 100-something kilometers away? Something like that?
Yeah, like 1 hour probably.
It's not far. I can take a cab, basically.
Should have met up. Did talk.
Anyway, guys,
we can meet police in some cafe in the highway.
Yeah, in the middle, right? In the no man's land.
Isn't there like a helicopter service as well there?
There used to be. I don't know if they're still running that, man. I think now with COVID, they cancelled that, man. Like, no helicopter, man. You have to go through the PCR testing roadblock, which is on the road. Anyway, guys, hey, so tell us, like, obviously we know about what's going on in November at the Armory, but maybe you guys Matteo, you wanna walk us through a little bit about what you have in store, what you're planning, or what you're thinking?
Yeah, sure. So before I share some of the actual details, I just want to do a quick introduction about what's the Armory, in case some of the people here didn't attend to some previous session that we organized back in Singapore, Amsterdam, and also in a bunch of other conferences in the past. So Armory is basically a small event inside the main conference where we give the opportunity and the possibility to developers of security tools of different types. They can be offensive tools, can be defensive, can be related to training activities. We really are open to any category of software. We give the opportunity to the developers of such tools to present the tool itself, to showcase the functionality, to explain to the audience a bit about the issues they encounter during the development, about the next and future features they are planning to include in the tool, getting some feedback. It's a very informal and intimate way to discuss about the tool. It's much more intimate than a standard talk. We are not going to give them a stage and let them present in front of an audience, but it will be face to face. The developers will have a small booth in which they will have a screen. They can present the tool, they can show off some demos, and they can interact with the audience at the end. That's the main purpose, giving the chance to interact with the people joining for the conference, and that they want to maybe take a break from the standard talk. Maybe they want to understand a bit better about the inner workings of any of the tools they may use on their daily life in the security world. So that's more or less the general idea about the Armory. This year we are going to announce special tool category, thanks to PIIs and thanks to Rocco for the sponsorship of the Armory event. So Rocco, you want to introduce a bit about what you do so that maybe our audience can understand about the special category of this year?
Yep, definitely. So I'm leading the Digital Security Research Center at TII. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to automate the vulnerability discovery. We're trying to prove vulnerabilities and also harden the software under test. But one of our main focuses right now is to improve the current state of the fuzzers that we use to find bugs in the industry. We've seen a lot of good papers come out recently in academia, and a lot of good tools that are coming out of the industry as well. But we feel that there's still a lot of gap there that needs to be improved on to really be able to find all the bugs during a fuzzing test. So we're looking for people that can build better tools with us. So we're partnering with multiple people around the world, including US, Europe, also Asia. And we're trying to work on a common goal to fix the actual problems that you run into during a fuzzing campaign, such as like scalability, getting proper code coverage, finding all the proper bugs which you might miss during a fuzzing campaign. So we're super excited to be able to sponsor at the Hack in the Box Cyber Week that's going to happen in November. We want to see Armory to have some really good fuzzing tools, and we want to maybe build a competition around that as well and provide some prize money. So we're going to probably create a data set around that on some of the software that we want the tools to test and see if they can find those actual bugs and see how fast they can do it. So this is what we're thinking to make it more like a fun, competitive activity with the Armitage at Hack in the Box.
Awesome, man. So Matteo and Rocco, right? So the idea with this fuzzing tool set demonstration thingy, I'm guessing not everybody's going to be able to come. So is there going to be a way that they can kind of like show off their tool remotely, or are we only going to have like the guys you have to fly into UAE? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I think due to the pandemic making it very hard for everyone to attend the conference, we definitely want to open it up for anyone around the world to attend the conference, especially the Armory, and to also show off their tools that they've been working on through the year.
So no limitation, right? Like any tool author, even if they can't physically make the trip over, they can still apply to show off their tool at the Armory. And if they have a fuzzing related tool, they, qualify for this subcategory of prizes or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There should be no limitation that you need to be there in person.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I like it. And so in terms of the testing, as in, can you give us some insight into what you're looking for? As in, like, what kind of, like, I mean, you mentioned, like, the scalability and, the coverage and that kind of stuff, but how are we actually going to evaluate, right? Because different tools are kind of cater to different things, right?
That's true. So we're still trying to define the actual rules and how we're going to measure for the actual results that we want. But some of the things could be like, can you properly scale your solution and how fast you can find those bugs? So we might look at ways that the current Google Fuzzbench is doing it and use some of those metrics to bring into the ways that we measure how good the fuzzer is. So yeah, we still need to really work out the details, but it's mainly going to be like the code coverage. Can we reproduce the bugs that you discovered? Are they actually critical bugs that you found, or they're actually false positives? So stuff like this we're thinking about.
Awesome.
We still need to really define exactly what the rules are going to be and what we're actually looking for.
When do you think we can expect this to be published? I mean, obviously Cyber Week is in November. We're almost in September now, right? Any deadline?
True. Exactly. So we're definitely going to be moving quick. We're using similar matrix already with the tools that we're developing in our center. So I think we'll probably use some of those matrix to allow the competitors to also leverage those. So I would say in a couple of weeks, we should have this finalized, exactly what we're looking for the competition.
Awesome. So I guess we'll publish that on the website as soon as you guys provide that to us.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, in addition to that, Matteo, as in for the Armory side of things, right? Are you guys hoping to get any other kind of tools in particular, or are we just going to be focusing on fuzzers for this particular edition?
No. Fuzzing for us is just the special category of the year. But we will keep open the Armory event for any other category that we have accepted also in the past. And so we are not limiting only to fuzzing, but we can also accept, like for example, a few years ago, if you remember in Singapore, we brought over automotive security tools, we brought over hardware security tools, we brought over defensive, even from a defensive point of view, we had a bunch of tools and developers joining our event. So the fuzzing category for sure is the special one for this year with some extra competition and possibly prizes. But at the same time, we keep everything open as usual for any other category of tools and any other developers that want to showcase what is working on in the past.
Do you guys have
Sorry, go
ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that we are planning to start the call for tool as well for the Armory.
Just
so let me just share very quickly the screen.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, pretty much, how many tools are you guys expecting, or how many tools are we going to accept, right? In total, and what's the process going to be like?
So in terms of numbers, at the moment, we are going to have around 6 to 8 booths available. We usually do 2 rounds per day, so around 2 hours for each developer to present the tool for each of the 2 days of the conference. So that gives us around 12 to 16 possible tools. And we can grow a bit more on that if we see a lot of high quality submissions. So we have quite enough space this year.
So 6 to 8, that's for on-site, right? And then for the remote tools, as in the guys that are not going to be able to come, is there a limit, or are we just going to do as many as we possibly can, or what's planned?
For the remote, we don't have the logistical limitation that we have for the on-site event. So for that part, we don't have fixed numbers of tools that we can accept. We want to keep it reasonable because we want to get the chance for everyone that is attending either remotely or on-site to be able to view and to discuss with all the possible developers that we are going to have in the conference. So we are going to try to keep it possible for anyone to visit everything, to view everything, but we don't have a strict limitation for the remote tools that are going to be on the stage.
When are we opening this, bro? Because I just noticed there's no dates.
The date is on the second slide, man.
There it is. I was like, hey, man, where's the dates, man? I'm asking the guys, like, hey, how come the slides have no dates?
The standard call for paper or call for tool will be open today, probably by end of the day.
Awesome.
And we are planning to split it into 2 rounds just to get a better idea about how to organize all the logistic part. So the first round will run for about 2 weeks from today until the 10th of September. And the second round will start the next day and will run for another couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then we have about 2 weeks before we announce all the accepted speakers / developers for the event. And hopefully in the meantime, we're also going to have all the details about the fuzzing competition. But in either case, all the fuzzers developers out there are more than happy to start submitting. Even if they don't want to participate specifically in the challenge, they can still showcase the tool. So start preparing your submission. Don't worry. and we will publish more and more details on the website as soon as possible.
In terms of submissions, bro, how are you planning to get the submissions in? Do people just email it in, or how do they apply?
No, we are going to publish everything on the CyberWeek website.
Okay.
So together with the main call for paper, you will also get the chance to submit for the Armory event, specifically for the Armory event. We are going to ask a few details about the tools. What is the purpose? What are the main features? And if you already have published a GitHub or GitLab repository in which we can find the source code and some other information that we can start publishing to advertise the tool to the audience, so that the audience know what they are going to see during the event.
Cool, man. And so in terms of like criteria for selection, are we only talking like open source? It must be an open source tool, or like semi-commercial, or are there any limitations?
There is no strict limitation. However, we tend to prefer or to push more for open source tools because it allows a more strict interaction with the audience, so the audience can also get involved in the actual development. But if you also have semi-commercial tool, we may have some additional space that we can reserve in case we notice a very good quality submission. So don't be afraid, don't be limited to open source stuff. We can review everything. We are happy to review everything, and I'm sure we can find some spot for anyone.
Excellent. And so in terms of like for the two authors that apply, what are we giving them? I mean, like, well flights to CyberWeek plus hotel, and like, did they get any other cool stuff?
Yeah, we are planning to give to any accepted tool a small honorarium. We are defining the amount in between today and tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So during the opening of the call for tool, that will be given as a cash prize to all the accepted tools. And on top of that, for the special category of the year, for the fuzzing part, we have the prizes sponsored by TII. So that's another small honorarium that we are planning to give to some of the devs.
Awesome. What happens if you're a startup? Like, can you apply if you're like let's just say you don't have funding yet, but you have a startup?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have an open source tool or a semi-commercial tool that you want to move to a startup type of thing, you can also submit, and we are going to have probably a dedicated area that can be within the Armory or in a close by a section of the conference dedicated for startup that are looking to raise some funding, that are looking to meet and greet with investors. And we are planning to publish some additional details about such opportunities very shortly.
Excellent. Rocco, just a quick question, bro. Like, in terms of like for the two guys that are coming over, right? Let's just say that their tool requires some funding. Is that something that TII would be willing to support, or is that beyond the scope of what TII does?
Yeah, so we're thinking, depending on how good the tool performs during the competition, mm-hmm. maybe we will partner with them, maybe we will hire them, or maybe we can sponsor their project as well for further development.
Cool. That makes a big difference because I think like right now opportunities are not that many, right? And there are a lot of really good tools, but a lot of them don't really get to see the light of day. And they normally die. I mean, we were just talking to Fateh just now, and he was talking about his VoIP tool, right? His Vipro tool that he built way back in like 2015. And he's the sole developer who's supporting the entire project and building out all the functionality for it. And it doesn't scale, right? I mean, he's one guy. And he's got a day job that's not funding that particular project. So, I think if TII is offering some kind of like, commercial, terms for at least for some of these tools, at least they can continue to build, right?
Yeah, definitely. So we're already working with, a partner of ours, mm-hmm. which is, Zaffa Software. They were part of the CyberGrand Challenge back in 2016.
Oh, cool.
At DEFCON. They built some very good tooling around binary rewriting, and now we're working with them trying to advance that tool that they developed back then. So maybe an opportunity might be highlighted during the competition that we can do a similar thing with someone else who competes at the Armory.
Excellent.
Who presents at the Armory.
It's cool that you guys are actually taking a proactive role in trying to, give these opportunities to folks and actually recognize the tool author's contribution, because a lot of times people just use the tool and it works damn nice, man, good stuff, but nobody pays for it or, at least try to support the development or, enhance those tools. So it's quite nice to see TII playing a role in that.
Yeah, and the people that we have already in the center are super passionate, so they want to see other researchers also advance their tools, so we can also give them good evaluation feedback and suggestions on how and what we've learned and what they can apply to also their tools to further advance. So we'll be also there in person, the whole team, and we definitely want to see fuzzers get better and better over time. So that's why we're supporting this event.
Matteo, quick question, man. If it's a student that has a post-grad research, and they are willing to come and present it, but it's not fully fleshed out yet, is there any support that you guys can give them in order to get that stuff ready for presentation? Because I think a lot of times we get a lot of younger guys, and they feel like, oh, I can't speak a hack in the box, I don't have anything cool, or it's not elite enough, whatever the hell that means. And a lot of times they just require that motivation, that support of somebody telling them,
Absolutely. And as you're well aware, I started partially my security career also thanks to the Hack in the Box conference series. So I'm more than happy to, I'm not saying mentor, but at least to support and give the right push. I know how to give the right push to the younger guys in order to start and to at least try to submit their research, even if they think it's not cool enough. It probably is. And if it's something related to fuzzing, I'm sure that we can arrange some support also from Rocco's and his team. And they can also provide some feedback on the technical part of their research before they start submitting or while they are writing the call for paper documentation and information. So absolutely don't be afraid. On the website, there will be my email address, so you can reach me, and we can absolutely have even a quick call over Zoom you can tell me about the research, and I can provide some feedback, and I can involve some other parties depending on the specific topic that you are researching on.
So guys, this is unprecedented, okay? Pretty much Matteo will give you one-on-one and help guide your tool if you are not ready to present. So, really you guys should take up this opportunity. No matter what level you think you are, whether you're super elite or not, everybody has to start somewhere. And we really hope that more of the tool authors will actually come and make use of this opportunity. Number one, we haven't traveled, so it's a good time to come and hang out again. But it's so great to see TII actually stepping up, and of course Matteo, running Armory is your passion, right? Nobody's paying for it to happen, but it's nice to see that you're continuously pushing the industry forward, right? And trying to get the best tools noticed so that more people can use them.
Absolutely. Small way to give back to the community, and at the same time give the chance to newcomers to enter in the industry.
Awesome.
Super important. It's the only way we're going to really advance it, if everyone has the opportunity to show off their capability and their tools that they've been working on.
Cool, man. We've got about 5 minutes left. Anything else you guys want to talk about anything to look forward to for the Armory side of things, or for CyberWeek, or just generally? Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, so we'll probably also have TI do some talks as well at Hack in the Box CyberWeek. And in the future, we'll probably also do some workshops as well to also help people get more involved in this type of research direction.
Hey, so you guys are going to have an exhibition booth, right? At CyberWeek, I assume you guys are going to have some kind of space, right?
Definitely.
Any kind of cool stuff like planned, or I mean, like I guess the whole team is coming. So are you guys planning on kind of like some kind of activities for people?
Yeah, so we might do some revealing of the stuff that we've been working on over the last 8 months. We do have some pretty good prototypes that maybe hasn't been seen before in this space. So we're looking to give some people some insight, and maybe we'll do this at the Cyber Week in November.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, I mean, we're waiting for this since last year. Basically, we've been dying to come back and do something in person. So yeah, fingers crossed, man. Like, you guys got your vaccines, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's yes.
Awesome.
We're all good. We're ready for you to come.
Oh, yeah,
we're waiting for the third shot, man.
Yeah, waiting for your third shot. Yeah, I think it won't be long more before we will be on our third shot too. I'll probably come there and get it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us in the studio. Looking forward to opening up the Armory registration. So as you guys heard, we're going to open it up just later today, right, Matteo?
Yeah, probably between the next few hours.
Okay, in the next few hours, right? So follow him on Twitter, or follow us on Twitter, or we'll retweet it, or we'll announce it, or follow Rocco. Like, one of us will announce it, or all of us will announce it. And like, start getting your submissions ready, man. Like, November's going to come upon us before we know it. So yeah, get your vaccines, get your tools submitted, and we'll see you guys in Cyber Week, man.
All right.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys. Enjoy.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.